Is it on? I think it's on.
Can't thank the McElhenney family enough for their involvement at CORA over the years. Specifically, obviously, the history of the McElhenney family begins with the father, Bob Sr., Robert Sr., who was an early on employee of CORA. He started off as a counselor here at CORA and moved into various positions throughout his tenure at CORA. And before I even came on board, he became the Vice President of Human Resources. But that role was more than just an HR role. I mean, he was the caretaker of the employees of the organization, and he worked really hard to both identify staff who lived the values that charity desired for us to live out on a day-to-day basis.
Him being in human resources there for so long and really embodying what that meant, the human part of it, and kind of lives that he touched, and then he was able to bring a lot of that home and deal with some of our nonsensical kid problems.
My dad devoted his life to service and to social services. So while he was gainfully employed, he was also doing it in the service of good.
Bob McElhenney was a really good mentor for me as I grew as a leader here at CORA. I was probably 13, 15 years under his leadership, so I have a lot to be thankful for his leadership here at CORA. He loved what he did, and he also was vital to organizing special events for the organization, fundraising for the organization, and a strategic thinker for the organization. So family was also really important to Bob. Not only did he live community and culture here at CORA, but he believed strongly in the value of family. He came from a large family himself that was very close, and he also raised, as many people know, his own children.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We're some of the McElhenneys. I'm Rob.
I'm Katie.
Sean, Patrick.
And I'm Sean.
Being Rob, Katie, and Patrick were involved not only in going to Camp CORA during their younger years, but then they also became, I think, junior camp counselors and camp counselors themselves.
Who here was a camper at Camp CORA? All right, now we got it.
Who here was asked not to return as a employee of CORA?
But in my defense, I was asked to come back 2 years later as I had matured.
My favorite part about CORA was that Dad would drive us to and from that place, and we would either be too tired in the morning or too tired on the way home, and we'd sleep the whole way and always thought that the commute was 15, 20 minutes. When really it was about an hour.
I think that's what I remember most are Huggies. They're so cold. It's so delicious in the middle of the summer.
One of the incredible things about CORA is that even though it started off in a building that I remember fondly, when it transitioned into the new space, it still kept the same spirit and its ability to give back to the community. And one of the things that I always was really impressed with was the early years program. And Sean actually went to the early years program.
You know, they were very early years. So my memory's a little hazy, but yeah, I mean, I started my life in CORA.
You turned out great.
So they grew up not only being present here when they were sick at times, being brought to work with Dad, but they also enjoyed being both children in our programs as well as working in our programs as they become young adults and adults.
Every summer we would go, and it was just a big, massive community.
I mean, we basically grew up there, so everybody knew who we were, and we were kind of able to travel freely through the building, and we felt like it was always safe, and you know, we knew everybody and everybody knew us, and it just kind of felt like it was a second home.
They have a heart for Philadelphia, specifically the city of Philadelphia. So I reached out to Rob directly and asked if he would help us grow our golf outing that year. And it just took 1 year of that family and himself and Caitlin coming back to Philadelphia along with the crew from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to just reinvigorate CORA with a whole new population of supporters.
It just shows how great of an organization it is that people continue to be involved for decades, and you know, ourselves included.
Sometimes you just gotta give more.
Huggies aren't free.
Huggies are not free.
He's not free.
And I'm really grateful to the entire McElhenney family. We honor you. We continue to thank you for all that you offer to CORA and to the Philadelphia community.
Thank you, CORA!